Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Crafts, and today I am going to be making a card using that gorgeous Hunkydory autumn collection from 2014, and this particular one is the Thoughts of Autumn set, although I suspect that because I'm using some of the papers from that collection that it may also be the other collection as well, which is the Autumn Delights, so it kind of mixes up. I also have a sheet of card that was from previous year's collection, and this has the same design on it that we've got on some of the acetate. However, I'm actually using a different type of acetate, but I just have got this gorgeous acetate here with all the leaves on it, and I think that's just so pretty, so we're going to be making use of that. So we're going to be using Mr. Prickles here, which is our hedgehog. That's the name of that sheet, and I think we're going to be using this one up here. And I'm also going to be making use of the shaped card set collection that I showed you that also came from Hunkydory. This is not a coated cardstock, but just a really good weight, and by the time we finish putting all this paper and stuff on, it's going to be really strong. Okay, so first things first, let's pop this to one side, and let's just make sure that all of these creases are really nicely creased, because we did that by hand, and therefore I just want to make sure they're nice and tight, like so. There we go, so that's given us a nice card base there. And what I'm looking to do is create like a tent of acetate over the top of the card, but under which will be obviously some of the pattern cardstock, etc., but also on top of it will also be some elements. So we've just got to kind of work out the order that we're doing things and cut things and all of this. So the first thing I want to do is pop out our little chap here. Now I'm going to try and do this carefully. There's a frame, and I'm just trying to see that might fit with the whole lot, because I rather liked the whole thing, which it does, so that's great. So that's our topper for the centre of our card. We now need to sort out, so I don't need this bit for the moment, so I now need to sort out what I'm covering the card in. So I'm going to pop him to one side for the minute and have a little look. So I've got this piece of cardstock here. Now I don't actually want Mr. Prickles himself on this occasion, so what I need to do is lay that on there, then draw around it and cut it out. So I'm going to get my pencil, making sure it's all lined up correctly on the edges, and then now the front is going to be a little bit different, so I'm just making a mark because the front doesn't come to there, it comes a bit further down, but we'll just do that, and across the top and across down here, down this side, and then again just making a mark in there so that we can see. And then I'm just going to try and sneak in here just to catch that, just so that we get that shape. So that's the front of our card. Now I'm going to need to do exactly the same on the back as well. So while we're drawing, I'm going to get my card that I'm going to be using on the back of the card base, and the reason I need this is to basically cover up the workings of what I'm doing, because I'm going to be putting the acetate across the top, so I don't want to see that when it's finished. So we're going to use this piece of card to cover that up. Now, unlike our previous piece of card, I can actually be more economical, because this piece I wanted this element on the bottom of our card base, so I had to do it this way round. But this one I can be more economical. It will fit perfectly because these are both A5, so I can just take side to side will be correct. So all I need to do now is just go across here, and there. So that's those pieces are drawn out. So let's now get our cutter here and start just cutting down these. Okay, and then just checking this fits okay on the back. And that looks good from this side. And then again, let's just check that this looks good on the front. And that's looking perfect. Don't forget these white bits are going to be covered. That's our first lot of steps. So we've got our front done and our back done. And I think that looks fab. I mean, that's just so rich, isn't it? Okay, so that's those two pieces done. Then I need to just cut out some pieces for these little steps here. So we're just going to have a little look at the measurements. So this is 1.25 inches. So I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to cut it just a strip to the 1.25 inches here, and then we can trim it to size. So just cut down like that, and then we've got a nice strip, and that should fit nicely down there. And what I want to do, if possible, is use these two end pieces, the top and bottom, where we've got the shading. What I will do is I'm going to turn that like that and lay it flat, and then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark it to there on one end, and I'm going to do the same the other end, and then that will give me that lovely colouring on both sides. Okay, so then put that over. And let's cut these pieces off. So again, just lining up our pencil mark. And cutting that end off. I'm just going to double check I'm happy with it before I carry on. And yeah, that's good. Looks good. So that's going to fit in there nicely. So we'll put that piece there. I don't need that piece of paper anymore. And then we're going to cut the other end. And then we've got that scrap, and we'll put that down. And these papers came from the insert set that actually had the papers for free that I showed you. And if you haven't seen the video, the haul video of the Hunkydory autumn set, I will put that on the corresponding blog post with this video, so you can catch up on that if you want. So again, we'll put those two pieces to one side now, and we're going to do the same for this piece. So then let's just check that we're happy that this looks good and that fits just lovely. So that's going to go on that piece there, and we've got two of those, so we'll put that over to that side as well. So I'm just going to take the acetate, I'm going to fold it just lightly at the halfway point, just with a little mark with my fingers, and that will leave like a little crease in the acetate. And then I'm going to take my scoreboard, this is my lovely Martha Stewart scoreboard, and I'm going to line it up, find that little mark. It doesn't matter if we're not absolutely precise, because we're going to be covering the acetate. So long as the line is straight, it's not like folding a card. It doesn't matter if it doesn't match up at each end, as long as we've got a good fold, crease mark. And then we can fold that in half. We just want to make sure that our sides line up, because we don't want that showing through as wonky when we, and we'll just go along with the back of our tool just to really score that lovely, and then just loosen it up again, because you don't want it so tight. Okay, so now we need to start putting the card together because we've got all our elements cut out and prepped. So we need to think about what's going underneath the acetate, and in this case the only thing that I need to stick down first, because it's going to be underneath, is these little pieces here. So I'm just going to grab those and some Cosmic Shimmer glue and pop those down. Okay, so that is these two, so I think you can see they look really nice already, and that's such pretty autumnal colours, isn't it? Okay, so then we need to put our acetate on, and the acetate is going to be like a little tent over our card. I don't need to worry about the glue showing because we've got the card going over the top. Now, because I'm going to be sticking a piece of card across all of this card front and on the back, I'm able to put adhesive across the whole lot and really make sure that my acetate's going to stay where I put it. So I'm going to put some on the front here like that, and I'm also going to put some on the back as well, so that we really make sure that it stays where I want it to be. So obviously at this point you don't want to put the card laying down because you'll end up with a big mess. The other thing you want to be sure to do is get it lined up pretty accurately, because you don't want the adhesive to go on the piece that you need it to show, that's going to be showing at the side. So just pop that like that. I'm pretty happy with that already. Okay, so we're now going to put our pieces of card on, and I'm going to actually start on the back, I think. And I'm going to again use the glue gel. Your regular glue, I don't think it's going to stick as well on the acetate. You want to be sure that it's going to stay stuck. It's kind of like when you stick on glitter, you need to make sure you're using a really good glue. And to be honest, I can't go wrong with my pin flare. It never fails me. So I'm going to use that, and I've just done it so it's flat. I've just literally sort of squeezed and scraped it across, and then I'm just going to pop my little back piece down and making sure that the white is covered and holding that down. Now, okay, so that's that nicely done. I think that just looks, doesn't that look so smart on the back there? And I don't know if you can catch that, but it's all beautifully sort of copper foiling, which is really nice. And now we're going to put our front piece on. So again, just making sure that the glue gel is going, and I must move my card, I don't want to put it on the card, it's going right around the edges and all the sides of this, because I want to be sure that it's stuck down nicely. And I'm just doing it really flat. Okay, and then this is so beautiful, isn't it, with the leaves at the bottom? It's so rich. And then we're just going to pop that down on there, and all of a sudden the card just comes together. Isn't that gorgeous? You can. Okay, so now we've got our Mr. Prickles here, and what I want to do is just separate very carefully, and I'm probably going to get my craft knife and do it with this so that we make sure that it is nicely done and it's not going to get damaged, because we've got the little notches, and I need to be careful because I've just realised I haven't got my craft mat underneath there. It's just a stamping mat, so just be a bit careful. Not that the table's a problem, it's just an old craft table, but it's the mat I'm worried about. I don't want to snap it. Okay, and then just going around, just basically cutting the notches so that it comes out nice and cleanly, because what I want is my frame separated from my elements, and I'll show you why in a minute. So that's all those elements popped out. So now I want to get my frame, and I want to put adhesive, and I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer on the back of that. Just lightly dot it along, because I'm going to be putting that down flat. Okay, so we're going to put that, just holding it like so, making sure it's central. And I want it quite high up because I want enough of the bottom part to show. Okay, so that's that piece stuck down nice and flat, and it's a beautiful textured foiling. And then we're going to get our elements here. So that one goes in there, that one goes in there, that one goes in there. And we're going to do them at slightly different heights as well, because I think that will be fun. So let's start with this one here. So it's not going to be too high. I don't think it's going to be massively different. It's just again to give it a bit of interest. So we've put the glue gel on the back there, and we're going to pop that in position in our little space. And just looking from the side, you can see it's quite not too high at all. This next one I'm going to do similar, I think. Maybe just a little bit more. Oh, that was lucky, wasn't it? Ooh. Mind you, it was going where it's going to get glue on anyway, but you never know. So that one's just a little bit more. And then this one is our For You, it says. I'm just going to do a bigger blob there. And I'm going to put a little bit in the middle there. Now the key with this is not to shove it down too hard, because it's just going to squelch out the sides otherwise. Okay, so then we've got Mr. Pickles himself. So we're just going to put the glue gel on the back of that. And that is Mr. Pickles on the front here. So what we've got is a nice set of different levels that just makes it, again, just adds that little bit of extra interest. Now the only other thing I've got is a few of these little, they're not actually sequins, they're little flat hollow rounds. So I'm going to tip a few out. So what I'm going to do is sprinkle them down. I think sometimes when you just sprinkle you get quite a nice random. Okay, so I think we'll just pop these down using little dots of my Cosmic Shimmer. So we're going to just take my craft knife and I'm going to just move the little pieces out the way, do a little tiny dot of Cosmic Shimmer and then pop them back. Okay, so there's our little hollow rounds. I think they look really pretty. Again, it just adds a little more opulence and richness, and the white of the Cosmic Shimmer will dry and disappear, so that will all go. And that is it. That is the finished card. I think it looks so pretty. I hope you agree. I just think it's so lovely with that acetate peeking through. You've got the lovely back to it with all that shimmer. You've got all these beautiful rich colours, and I just think it looks so nice. I hope you've enjoyed making this card with me. I've really enjoyed making it, so I hope you've enjoyed making it along with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.